Well, welcome back. It has been a minute. Man, I didn't think this was ever going to happen, but we got the podcast back up and running. Old platform on Facebook, and all the followers got the notification that we are going live tomorrow, our first event. It's been whew, since June, July-ish, something like that. Um, yeah, just wanted to go on and say that it's great to back. I hope that you guys are ready. I'm ready. It's been a minute. This is going to be a good one. I've been, if you guys don't know, if you're new to the channel, excuse me, dry throat. This Facebook channel, the podcast that I put, the original one on Facebook, I had to shut it down because I was getting a lot of hacks on it. A lot of people sending me friend requests and asking me, hey, I'm into this, that, paranormal stuff, and this, I'm sort of a scammer, and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore, so I shut it off. But before we do this, let's keep it real and start it off with our video, shall we? Cool, we're back. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. And hold on real quick. Just want to make sure that the audio is going through, if you guys can hear me or not. This is cool, man. Sweet, it works. All right, so tomorrow's episode we're going to be talking about is going to be, is there life after death? I mean, really, in all honesty, we all know that there is something else that has been drawing us. I know, especially for myself, with my whole spiritual outtake on things that have happened in my life, and just becoming more aware of things that have been happening and the realization of these things, I guess, that have been happening to me spiritually on a different level. Are these my headphones? Sorry. But understanding, especially, with our other paranormal group that we have, High Desert Paranormal, my wife and I, is that's what we're trying to figure out, is what is the truth, the meaning behind life after death? Is it what we've always been told? Is it what we've been brought up to believe, that if you're not good, that you burn in a lake of fire, and you're subjected to this life of agony and torment and pain and suffering because you did not commit your soul, your spirit, into the hands of this almighty being that everybody has gone to believe is this person or entity in religious aspects. And as I said before, I want to say this and make it very clear. I am in no way, shape, or form judging or denouncing anybody's religious faith. What I talk about here on this podcast is just a subject matter that is up for discussion topic to get everybody's insight and views, and to put ideas and topics out there, and just say, hey, look at it from this view. What do you think? Give me your opinion. I'm not here to sway you or say, what you're doing or what you believe in is wrong or anything like that. So like I always do in old school fashion, is I always put that disclaimer out to everybody, is that this platform was designed and built so that way we can have a discussion about various topics that are raging. I'm not going to get into politics, although I will get into subject matter issues of deceit, cover-ups, and government theories of what they're behind and what they're hiding and what they're trying to put out there in focus of trying to cover something up. But as I always said, is that this platform was designed so that way we can all come together and talk about things that people would just don't talk about. And I really get into a lot of topics. I mean, one of the things that I got into was the Epic of Gilgamesh, and that was a real big one that jumped off in our platform on YouTube on our podcast. Was that people wanted to hear a lot about ancient subject matter and ancient topics, and that's what I brought to the table, was that I wanted to discuss those things, those issues with people, and put those things out there. So this episode that we're going to be having tomorrow is just going to be the same thing. It's going to do exactly just that, is that we're going to be talking about the subject matter of life after death. Is what we have been told or what we know about the afterlife, about us dying and passing on, about everything that we thought we knew to be real. Is that in fact what is going on? Is that really so? If it is not, then what is the reality of it? What do most cultures believe? What do most faiths believe in? Is this thing of well, mine is right, yours is wrong? Is that really what it was meant to be? It wasn't meant to be something where all people of this earth were driven by one ideology, one belief system, and somewhere along the line something or someone came down and split us into different factions, different groups, organizations, different worship archetypes. And I think that is really what is going on, because we have been driven so far from what was originally meant for us, is what I think I'm trying to say or get at. And what I mean by that is that we as human beings, the only thing that separates us from each other is what we think in here. What we've grown up to believe, the differences that separate each and every one of us. You have things that separate us religiously, things that separate us spiritually, things that separate us racially, things that separate us economically, and things that separate us and tear us apart mentally, because everything that we see nowadays is based on this separation of us, of mankind, of humankind. And it seems that the notion of life after death and what we are as people and what we are capable of, if we were to unify together as one and say, listen, these powers that be that are persuading us to have these differences, to be separate from each other, have done a fantastic job of doing just that, dividing people on their thought, controlling us, telling us, if you don't do this, or you're not acting this way, or you're not in this group, or you're not following this religion, or you're not worshiping, or you're not in line with what is meant for your race, or meant for your religion, or meant for your people, you're wrong. And I think that is one of the mental and spiritual things that we should totally take a look at. And the scare tactic of what we have known throughout our entire lives of dying. If you look back at ancient history and ancient culture, you see that death was something that was not to be feared. It was worshipped. It was it wasn't it was revered among men. And cultures around the world in the ancient days, people would, during battles, men would rush head charge, into battle, and were like, the glorious thing to do is to die in battle, to meet death gloriously, because ancient cultures believed that death was not the end; it was only the beginning. Ancient Egypt believed that highly, and they adapted that notion from ancient cultures and their way they worshipped long before they were around. I believe that ancient Egypt that we know of wasn't ancient. It was newer than what was there previously. I believe that there were cultures that predate them by far. We look at Göbekli Tepe, which is now known to be at least 10 to 12, now even 14,000 years before that. So if we're talking something that is far older than time of what, the time span of what we know, and their ideology of worship and deities and the respect of life after death is far older than what we've been taught. And these people in ancient Egypt were, the ancients. And if in fact they were not the ancients and they got their ideology from something else and adapted it, how close to the concept of life after death were these ancient cultures? And what were they in tune with? What did they know that we do not know? And as I said before, I think it's just that aspect of being out of tune with what we have, what we were meant to be in tune with. We've gone all way off track, and I think that what we've gotten into is a sort of how can I say it, commercialized aspect of you know fear mongering, with the notion of saying that, if you don't fall in line with this, if you are not on board with what we're trying to tell you, this is what's going to happen to you. But was it always so? Was it always like that? No, it was not. Somewhere along the line, somebody decided to put in this fear tactic of, hey, look, this God of ours says that if you don't worship him and you don't do what he says and accept his son as the one and only, then you're going to end up burning in this lake of fire. The notion of this is something that has been around for a long time, but it was the concept that came from Dante's Inferno, his Divine Comedy of the layers of hell, of life after death. What happens to you when you die? Um, I don't like this thing. It's always in the way. It's like covering my face, and I hate it. And you see that. I mean, I don't want to get too much into it. I want to leave it in for tomorrow because, like I said, when it comes to a lot of things, I really try to answer as much questions for people as possible because I get, people saying, well, where are you getting this from? What are your sources, or, what makes you think that a lot of things are wrong? I'm not saying that things are wrong. Okay, if you believe in a certain type of religion that is telling you something, and that you believe that this person that is telling you that this God of love, this God of this divine being that created you in his likeness to be able to thrive and flourish on this earth, would rather destroy you eternally for not obeying him and wipe out a creation that he deemed worthy of his salvation based on a do as I say and you will flourish in the afterlife, or if you don't do what I say, you're going to die. I don't believe that to be the case. It doesn't really make any sense to me that something would destroy somebody if they didn't follow them. My idea is this: we are all a part of this divine spark. We are all a part of the eternal essence of what is the universe. Um, it is in with all of us. We are all connected by that thread. The only things that separate us is our mentality and the region of the world that we live in. Other than that, there is nothing that separates us. Because if you have followed me before, you will find out that there are scientists now who are saying exactly this: that this essence, this creation theory, this divine beginning of what is life that we know of now was made and created by something that stamped and literally put their signature on our DNA. And if you read the book God Code by hold on, let me grab it. By Greg Braden, he gives you the insight to that very deeply, and he talks about how we as human beings have always been told, oh, well, we have junk DNA, or there's just things that are in our body that are just there because, it doesn't really do anything, or, we're not using that part of our brain. We only use like 2% of our brain, but yet it is called junk matter or junk DNA. And Greg Braden gets into depth of how and why we have been deceived. And he has literally broken the codes of human DNA, where the code strands literally have the signature of our creators saying God within us all. Literally. And as I said before, this is not just me saying this. This is many scientific minds that have done their research and have literally expressed their thoughts and their theories on exactly this: that we, as human beings, with souls that are eternally in us, this flesh and this body may die, it may wither, and it may get old, but what is inside, the essence of who we are, what is internally within each and every one of us, lives on. It does not die. it carries on and it returns to what once was, where we came from. And I'm really excited to get into this. And I can't wait to see and get your guys' questions and input on this topic. And I really hope that you will join me tomorrow. I know it's going to be 12 o'clock, but I've got, I'm not working, and I've been working like crazy, and I've really missed doing this, and I wanted to do this for a while. And with everything that's been going on with the new job and stuff, and you know dealing with stuff a lot, I really was like, I need to, my mind's just been going. And I really want to talk about this, because from my own personal perspective, I believe that this is not my first time go around here. And I have been reading a lot of things, doing a lot. One thing that I was doing heavily was my meditation, and I have not been able to do that, but I did a couple of times since then, and just things were coming to me regarding this issue, and this subject of reincarnation, or the topic of life after death, and how we view it, and how people perceive this notion of life after death, and why it is that we have come so far from where we used to be on this matter, of where our ancient ancestors revered death. They didn't fear it, but it was something to revere. It was something to be worshipped as a rite of passage to leave this plane of existence and return to where it was that we originally came from. So I really hope that you guys join me on this journey tomorrow. It's going to be good. Get your rest. If you're taking lunch break or whatever, and you want to be able to hang out and come along with us on this, you are more than welcome to join us, and like I said, chime in, leave a comment in the comments section, and we're going to hit it really good tomorrow. And I just want to say thank you, everybody. This is the original podcast channel, Seeker of the Unknown, where I started it in December of last year. I know I have the other one that was on Facebook, but I was able to reactivate this one and get it back on track and have it back on there. So now all the original followers who were following me are able to come back on here and get the word out. Seeker of the Unknown is back. And I just want to say that, I appreciate everybody that was following me, that has been following me since December, and that has been pushing to get my videos out. If you have not already gone to YouTube, go ahead and check those out. It's in the Seeker of the Unknown podcast. It's on YouTube. The playlist with all the videos are on there, so you can check it out. And then obviously this is already on YouTube right now, so it will directly go to the playlist automatically. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate all of you. And many blessings to everybody, and I really hope that you guys will join me tomorrow. Share it with your friends, share it with your family. If they got questions, please, like I said, feel free to chime in and leave your questions in the comment sections. I'm going to leave the chat open, so we'll be doing that throughout the podcast, and I'll be answering questions that anybody leaves. So all right, cool. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. And yeah, we're going to get to it. Take it easy. Many blessings. And we're out. I'll